Hi guys, Anna and I, we've got something amazing cooked up for you guys, which is really, really interesting, and we know you're going to love it. I'm a personal trainer, and I train women only, through all stages, through pregnancy, after pregnancy. The first thing they'll say to you is, what should I be eating? Should I be having this? That's really bad for me, blah, blah, blah. So then naturally, as a personal trainer, I started doing more research and started to think, okay, what is the best thing to eat? And I veered away from the normal fitnessy food, which is macros, chicken, rice, vegetables, which we all know about. And then I started to not eat meat, and everyone was like, why aren't you eating meat? Like, it's protein, it's for our world, you have
Protein's
to have...
always the number one thing. Because even when you're eating meat, no one asks you if you're getting enough protein, but the minute you stop eating meat, everyone's like, oh my god, how much protein are you having?
Exactly. And that's literally the reason I stopped, because I had a client who was vegan and she did everything you could think of and more. And I just thought, how could she sustain this off? I had no idea what veganism was really. I said, how could she sustain this of like nuts and grass? That's what you like to eat, right? and then I did a bit more research, and I realised there's so much more fat, water and hormones in meat than there is protein. So when you popped up, I was thinking, and she's vegan on top of everything else. Wow.
Bonus.
So exactly. So then, that's why we decided to collaborate. And then I came to you the other day, and I said I want to do a 3-week challenge thing. And it's using, first week will be raw completely, all raw. Second week will be vegan. The third week is raw till 4, so it's a combination of the two. So you eat raw until dinner, and then past 4 o'clock you have a cooked meal, which is still part of things. I'm going to blog and film my process throughout this, and we're going to film like catch-ups and how we found this, and what was the best, what was the highs, what was the lows. To expect from the coming weeks and the meal plans. Obviously we're going to put the meal plans up for everyone to see what I followed. Obviously we're not saying that's going to work best for you, but it's just an idea of what I did, and we'll be open for you guys to ask us questions, whatever you want.
So I'm Anna, and you can probably find me on Collecting Fitness. I've been a vegan now for 3.5 years, coming up to 4 years now. So
long time, since like age before I even knew you.
Everyone does different sports. Like, I'm a runner, Maya's a PT, so her activity levels are going to be different to my activity levels. So always eat to feel your lifestyle. Don't kind of do it because she's doing it, or like make sure you do that. So when you're hungry, your portions, like make sure it caters to you, and don't be like, oh my god, what's Anna eating?
Exactly. And that's the fundamental flaw of diets. So far we've gone shopping, we've bought all the stuff that we need. We're in Planet Organic, and Anna's just showing me all the supplements I'm going to need for my challenge. So we've started off in the supplement aisle. We're going to move on to the normal stuff that we're going to need. Probably not even here, we're going to move to like Tesco or something like that. But we're starting off with supplements. As a PT, I feel like supplements are your add-ons. Like
not your main meal.
So many of my clients would be like, I missed that, but I did have a protein shake. People think that's a meal replacement, and it definitely is not. Supplements are your add-ons, your real food. You will get whole content from real food.
Spirulina is a great powder to just kind of add on. It's really high in protein. I think it's probably the highest form of protein, like in terms of plant-based stuff. It's really good because it's got B12 and high in calcium and high in iron, and it's just a good way to kind of like add on protein to your lifestyle, to your diet. And it's kind of good as well if you add it onto your smoothies, or just take it first thing in the morning as a shot as well, as a booster. So that's a good one.
All the time, people, colleagues, people in the gym, muscle heads, whatever you want to call it, will always be banging about the protein.
You actually only need 10% of your calories coming from protein to sustain your body anyway.
Because if you think about it, protein is a repairer and a healer. So all you need is enough protein to heal what you've just worked out, the muscles you've just used, and grow them. That's it. Spirulina, just people that don't know, because I didn't know, is actually a plant. So it's nice to know that plants are like able to give us stuff as well. I wouldn't have known that.
So you've even got Japanese style tofu. You have got smoked tofu for all the steak lovers, and you've got Italian style sausages, like barbecues and all of that.
They even have vegan doner kebab.
Let's see that.
That's the level of comfort vegans have these days. Vegan doner kebab. We were saying this yesterday. We were saying about how like people see veganism as like, oh, you're so fussy, you're so this, you're so that. But in the fitness world, in our staff room, everyone's counting their macros.
Yeah, and everyone's weighing. Everyone's constantly like, how many grams is this? How many grams is that? But like with the vegan lifestyle, because everything you're eating is pure and it's good for you, you don't actually need to measure anything. Like you don't need to. And
the best thing was I was like, we were doing it together, I was like, okay, so how soon after I've had breakfast do I have this? She was like, when you're hungry.
And like literally when you're hungry,
basic thing, just that's human. Of course we would do that.
Stay hydrated, eat when you're hungry, sleep not too late at night.
And
that's it. Aim for this is to kind of go high carb, low fat, try and keep the sodium low, and just up the carbs, clean carbs, clean carbs.
So when I spoke to Anna yesterday, we were going through my meal plan, she was saying that there's actually no problem with carbs, which I agree with myself, and there's not even a difference between white and brown carbs, which I was like, whoa, even I'm a bit like, really?
Really, the only difference is that brown has more fibre and white has less fibre, but I found that with me and other people, there's not really much difference. It's just how your body digests it. Like with me, I can eat white rice, white pasta, brown pasta. It still gives me the energy I need. It still fuels my workout. So there's not really that much difference.
I mean, there's so many myths around this. Like everyone talks about how bad carbs are. And carbs are going to make you fat, and they store fat, and we just want to clear that up for the world and let everyone know that doesn't happen. Because we've got so much going on in our body, we can't really recognise what's wrong with us, or if we should feel like this, or if we shouldn't. So since I've cut out dairy, I do feel a lot better, and I do feel like I'm less clogged, and my digestion's better, and I do feel a lot better with everything else. So like, I have no doubt that I'll feel better after doing this. But for me, the main challenge is going to be, is it sustainable? Am I going to have time? Even though I know the stuff we've spoke about is quite easy to make, if you're tired and you're hungry, that's when things of like quick fixes go into your head and you start thinking, should I get takeaway? That's what happens, and that's when you start eating non-vegan.
When people say there's no like option in cheeses, you can't get cheese, like how can that be vegan? So I'm just going to go through all the cheeses that are actually vegan and how much options you've actually got. So let's get started. Vegan cheese, you've got vegan cheddar cheese here, you've got mozzarella vegan, creamy vegan cheese here, you've got some more creamy vegan cheese, vegan and smoked vegan cheese slices. Guys, there's no excuses, there's vegan cheeses everywhere, and they actually taste really good. The flavour's just perfect.
So in the fitness industry, obviously eggs are a big deal. Everyone's always asking you, how many egg whites have you got in that? Are you going to put egg whites in your shake? Egg whites in the morning, egg whites. You don't really have the yolk. And I have it in the morning and I scramble it up and I have it with like cinnamon and bananas and nuts for my breakfast.
People do say like with eggs, the yolk bit has got higher cholesterol than the white bit, but it's still, as the whole, it's still coming from the same source. So it's still going to have cholesterol either way, even if you cut out one section, you're still taking that in.
Yeah, I used to think that. So I was thinking, but you can even buy the liquefied egg whites, which is what I get. So you get them in a carton and they're just egg whites. So that's easy to pour into your shake and stuff. So like,
you have to remember, so the egg comes from a chicken and it's part of its actual menstrual cycle. So if you actually think about it, you're literally having a chicken's period. Like that's what you're eating. Yeah, it's still part of its menstrual cycle. Eggs are really high in fat, they're high in protein, but protein beats fat is still higher in fat than it has in protein. So something like this, it's basically a mock egg. There's no actual real egg in there. It's just a powder. You mix it with water, and again, how they seasoned it, it tastes exactly like eggs. So like scrambled eggs in the morning with some spinach over it, like it's perfect. As we're here in Tesco's and we're just gonna grab everything we need for Maya's 3-week vegan challenge.
So it's becoming more and more common now for people to be having non-dairy milk. So people usually know why and why it's good, but they don't really know there's this much variety. So we just wanted to point out that even somewhere like Tesco, which isn't specifically vegan or dairy free, has so much to choose from. So you've got soya, you've got coconut,
You've got almond, you've got hazelnut,
you've got oat down here, you've got more soya, you've got cashew nut,
you've got flavoured soya, chocolate flavour, you've got all sorts of meals, basically.
A few things to expect are mono meals.
Yes.
Before you, I didn't really know what this term was. I didn't know. So, do you want to explain what mono
So
meal is?
basically, because Maya's going raw for a whole week, a mono meal is basically where you have a meal with a large quantity of just the one fruit. And that basically, it allows you to have all the nutrients that you need from that one fruit. Because if you just have one banana, your body's not going to digest it
as efficiently
as if you have like a large quantity. It's like you having like a tiny glass of water, you're still going to feel thirsty. But if you have like a 1 litre jug, you're going to feel hydrated. It's the same as a mono meal, basically. I
wasn't really aware of this until you spoke about it with me. So basically Anna was just telling me that I'm not allowed to have a banana when I start this unless it's brown and spotty. She's like, that's at optimum.
That is the key there. You can't have a banana if it's green or anything, because it's not filled with fibre, it's not filled with all the minerals and vitamins that the banana's supposed to have. If it is green, it's just starchy and you'll probably be constipated and you'll have a really hard time.
And you said something about like if it's not ripe yet, it means they're inactive, the nutrients
it's not active. It's like a premature baby, it's not ready to come out.
Wow.
So it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, and that's amazing, because you would look at like a nice green or like solidly yellow banana and be like, oh, it is better, I'm gonna get that.
I see people like struggling to open their bananas. Like if you do that, you know it's not ripe. Like when you open a banana, it should just kind of just melt down.
So that's the whole thing, because people will be like, it's off.
And that's the same with every fruit. Like you have to make sure it has to be at the sweetest content, because that's when the fruit is like alive and ready for you to take it in. And then like the fibre levels are just there.
Okay, see, didn't know that. But you said citrus goes really well with green stuff.
Yeah, and berries.
And berries.
Yeah.
And that what doesn't really go well is bananas and citrus.
Yes, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know.
You'll just be bloated.
I've fully been places where they've given me smoothies with banana, orange and lemon, and you take it and you're like, it's healthy. Like you've got no idea. So it's showing that even it's like a huge paradigm. Even within the healthy stuff, there's still flaws. So it's just crazy that like we hope this shows you we're two real girls growing up in London, and we're making it happen here. So you have got there's no excuse. Like,
if you think about it, it's easier for you to have a smoothie on the go than for you to have to like stop and think, oh, I need to go to Pret or McDonald's or wherever you go and get your lunch from. If you have your smoothie on your desk, you'll just
100%.
staying fully carbed and like energized throughout your day. So there's just no worries there.
You mentioned as well that like leafy greens with every meal.
Yeah, leafy greens with every single meal, whether you're on a raw diet, high carb, like whatever. Basically, if you have leafy greens, it adds more fibre, and you can kind of everything moves down
the right way. And this is another thing misconstrued. A lot of my clients tell me, oh yeah, I had a salad. I was like, oh, what was in your salad? Tomatoes, cucumber.
That's it.
And they think that's a salad. And I'm like, what? Like you need your tomatoes, your cucumbers, your greens, your spinach.
Variety.
So much. And dressing is allowed. Like dressing put some balsamic vinegar, sea salt, bit of lemon, lime, like all of that stuff.
You can pretty much buy all your fruits and veg in Tesco's or probably your local corner shop, whatever you feel is suitable for you. Throughout the day, you need energy, right? So you need sugars, you need natural sugar, so all your fruits all throughout the day, all your smoothies throughout the day. When it gets to the evening, if you was to have a meal that is high in sugars, you won't really be able to sleep. So instead of spiking your sugar levels, what you need to do is have calming food. So all your leafy greens, all the vegetables, potatoes, rice, pastas, they're calming foods, so they'll help you kind of get set for the evening and not be like, oh my god, I have so much energy, what do I do with it? So
yeah, I was like, what oils are we using? And she was like, no oils, when we were talking about the raw week.
Yeah,
because I was like, even coconut oil, because obviously everyone in bangs on about coconut oil, it's best for your hair, skin, boyfriend.
I think oils in general, like you have to remember, like the only mineral, whatever's in oil is oil. Exactly. Like there's nothing more to oil than oil. So when you do use oils, you have to remember that is a fat content, so it goes straight into your body as fat. It doesn't change as protein, it doesn't change as carbs, it doesn't change as anything. It just goes in straight oil, and that is it. So if you are using oils, maybe once a week in your dishes, but that's pretty much it, really. Yeah. And oils really should be used just for your skin.
Why would you choose this raw coconut organic sugar instead of white or brown? I thought brown was alright.
Like basically with raw coconut sugar, it still carries all of its minerals. So it's still really high in calcium and still high in fibre, and obviously sugar has no fat. And this kind of tastes like a creamy caramel vibe to your everyday.
So it's even better than brown sugar, basically?
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely. Okay, cool. It's not refined. It's still got everything you need in it.
And another thing you said as well, which is really good, about how when you're making the change into veganism, you do need to eat foods of different textures.
Yes.
That was a really good point.
Yes. So like, where you're coming from, like meaty foods, you're chewing on things a little bit more, so make sure you have all those textures in your meals, because otherwise you're going to be like, oh, something's missing or something's not quite right. So like mushrooms, aubergines are probably my staples to get those textures in, and they're the two vegetables I find that you can season them how you would season meat, and the seasoning actually sticks to them pretty well, so
like they absorb it.
Yeah. So.
And you were saying earlier when we were shopping, you were like, people won't have a plain chicken breast if you're used to having it in a different way, so that's enough to make them not have it.
So is it the chicken that you love, or is it the seasoning that you love? Because I have friends, family as well, if you even dared to give them chicken without it being seasoned, like, that's a no-no. So it's obviously the seasoning here that you're attracted to.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. Both Anna and I are from very foodie cultures and backgrounds, and we've noticed along the way so much family and friends and everyone around us is just like, oh, what are you doing? Literally. So even last night you said
like last night I was out, and I was like, to my family, like, my kids one day will be raised vegan, and they were like, no, like, your family's gonna disown you, and like, people are not gonna tolerate that, and your child can be vegan in your household, but
not outdoors.
Not if it comes to visit our homes. And I'm just like, no.
So it doesn't mean that it's like cuts out your ability to be around your family and like around your friends and stuff. It's
just don't like isolate yourself.
Of course,
like, I find that with like a lot of like plant-based vegan people, they like tend to just isolate themselves, just have vegan friends, and like, if you do that, then you won't really have a platform to spread the message.
100%.
So.
Exactly. And I suppose it's people's purposes of doing it. I mean, there's a lot of people in veganism, sadly, who do like to shame other people and be like, we're better because of this, this and this. They're not going to get anywhere with that. It's not that at all. It's just obviously spreading...
Just bettering yourself.
Yeah, really. Exactly. It's for health reasons, and everyone loves that. So why wouldn't you want to know? So for me personally, it wasn't for reasons of like... environmental or ecological, sadly. It was more for what's going into my body. Like, for me, it wasn't about the animal care and stuff, which was obviously very important, but for me, my main reason was what's going in my body.
A wrap, guys. So
my YouTube channel is PT by Nature,
and mine is Collecting Fitness, and you can find me on Instagram and YouTube with that. So
please comment, please like, please subscribe,
and stay tuned for more fitness madness.